Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, put your hands together for Mr. Henry Churniavsky. Okay, cut. That's enough music. Too old for this shit. Hello, welcome, thank you. My name is Henry Churniavsky, and welcome to my show, Lockdown, Oy Vey, A Jewish Perspective. I say neurotic, I think that needs a bit of explaining. That is me being Jewish and neurotic, so it's just one word. Now, let's see, lockdown. There are lots and lots of changes with lockdown, lots of issues, and the coronavirus has had a bigger effect. So I'm thinking of with my mother being 86, you know, when it first started, I knew there was going to be an issue, that she couldn't go out. I mean, she was reading the papers and what have you. So I went round there and I said, Mum, look, there's going to be a lockdown. You can't go out. She said to me, I don't go anywhere anyway. I said, Mum, you do. But anyway, besides the point. I said, we won't be going out for months. You're going to have to stay in. But I've hit on an idea to help. Your daughter has given us a mobile phone with FaceTime. So we're going to do FaceTime. Have you ever tried to tell someone or show someone of a certain age new technology? It's a fucking nightmare. This is so simple. It is, when it rings, you slide it or you press the button. That's all she has to do. So, it took 15 attempts of people ringing in to try and get her to do it. I knew it was going to happen. When I got home, we rang her. Now, I had seen inside her ear at least 3 times, up her nose, which reminds me I need to buy some nasal clips for her for the hairs. And when we do see it, we only see that. We only see the head. We only see that. And she says, I know she can say, hello. And I said, Mum, we can see you. Can you see us? Yes. Okay, I've got to go now because the conversation with my mother on the phone is less than a minute. Then she can't switch it off. So all I can hear is her moaning, she can't switch it off. And she gives it to the carer. And I'm shouting, Mum, I can hear you. She picks up the phone and she goes, oh, shut up, and puts the phone down. Goes dead. So we knew that ain't going to work. She was not going to do this. So a few weeks ago, my sisters and everyone, we got together on Zoom. So I thought it was a nice idea to get my mum to be on Zoom with the family. So we did it about 6 o'clock. It was probably the worst time for Mum because she has to eat at 6 o'clock because the carer comes round. But I set it up and because of distancing, I stood in the garden on my phone. I switched it on for her and she's watching it. And she can't hear because she hasn't got her hearing aids in. So it was an absolute nightmare. And literally, after 10 minutes, she calls me in. She says, switch it off, I've had enough. I mean, all her grandchildren are there. So I said, okay, so I switch it off. I go back in the garden, distancing myself, chatting to the family. Mother rings me, calls me in. Henry, you can go now. I'm going to bed. So as I was putting her into a room, she said, thanks for that. I really enjoyed it. I said, funny, because we couldn't tell by your face. Anyway, before the lockdown, I had to go and have an operation. And I had to go for a pre-op. So you get a list of things you have to do, which is a bit daunting. And number 1 says, take all your meds. Have you tried to take 3 months worth of medication in one go? It's really difficult. And the second question is, do you drink? And how much? So I thought about this one and I thought, yeah, a nice bottle of Glenfiddich is about £29. Then they asked me for my medical history. That's a challenge. I said, I think penicillin was invented in 1928. Do you remember the times in the past when you used to go to restaurants, look at menus, enjoy a meal? I know it's going to come back slowly, but do you remember? I remember not before lockdown. Went to a restaurant. I'm sick and tired now. When you look at a menu, it's got a V for vegetarian, VG vegan, DF dairy free, GF gluten free. I went to this new one in Liverpool, and everything all down the side had FN, 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 FN. So I called the waitress over and I said, "Can you explain what FN is?" She went, "Yeah, it's fucking normal." So I'm looking forward to going back there to get some fucking normal food. So this lockdown, I've been locked down from work at home now for well over 100 days now. And I was asked, I'm over 60, just gone over 60 now, and I've been asked, are you going to retire? This is before COVID and lockdown. Since lockdown, thinking about retirement, and it's not going to happen. It's either going to be a death or a divorce in our house. It's one or the other. We had a massive row the other day, and she wasn't talking to me. And I think it was about 3 days. And I think it was about 3 days later, I was looking for something. So I said to my wife, I said, have you seen this after a particular shirt I want to put on? She says, "Oh, you're talking to me now?" I said, "Sorry." I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Haven't you noticed I haven't spoken to you for 3 days?" I said, "Well, no, I just thought we were getting on." I'll tell you what, there's the worst invention. And this is before COVID. Amazon one click. My finger, my wife's finger, everything one click. It's a nightmare. I mean, who needs 48 fucking massive boxes of Jacob's crackers? She wanted to bake a cake the other day. She couldn't get on Tesco's to get icing sugar, so she ordered some online. 3 kilogram bag of icing sugar. It's only for one cake. I mean, you do start to think about these things, isolation and what you're doing. I've started to cut bread. I'm making toast. I decided to cut it into a hand, so when it pops up, I give it a high five. But I am trying my new culinary expertise and trying different foods. I've had mashed potato sandwich, fish fingers and custard. Soy sauce and ice cream is probably my favourite, to be honest. I wanted to get a dog. I've had it for a while. But my wife says to me, "Look, a dog is for life, not just for COVID." And with this lockdown and not being at work and not having to get dressed up for work, I'm wondering now, will I ever wear trousers again with a zipper? And I know a lot of women are worried. I know the hairdressers now are starting to open, because I speak to a few of the girls at work online, and they're worried about the grey hairs. I'm just very lucky that I'm colourblind and I know I've got lovely dark black hair. I'll tell you one thing though, you do forget what day of the week it is. The only way I know what day of the week it is when I take my medication. It tells me what day it is. I'll tell you something though, if you have got alcohol issues, do not ring Alcohol Concern. I've got my beef with them. I rang them, I said, "I'm concerned." And they said, "Yes, well, can you tell me what the problem is?" I said, "I'm not sure I've got enough beer in the fridge." Bloody hell, the language I got from them. One of the worst things to happen in lockdown probably has been my iPhone breaking down. And it's broke down. Managed to get a new phone. I got the most up-to-date new iPhone. And it's amazing. So secure. I mean, now you have to have face recognition to switch it on. Now, do I do it without the mask or with the mask? I don't know. We do more reading. Been reading stuff about the menopause. It was a survey done. It said 8 out of 10 men suffer. It said 7% of men, 7% said their wives were moody. The other 23% of men must have filled it out next to the wives and head to their beds. It said 6 out of 10 women said it had a big effect. The other 4 were too busy fanning themselves to try and get them cool. One of the authors was a woman called Miriam Ferrer, who said there should be more discussion between men and women about the menopause. Really? Do I need to know more? Did I need to know more about the menopause with my wife? Now, either she is either unmarried or premenopausal. The women said, I did read it, a third of the women said they were more aware of their age, and it left them very emotional, saying, fuck you, a lot. And I remember going back when my wife had the menopause. She was very, very confrontational. Irrational at times, to be honest. You know, I remember I said, how are you? She said, who wants to know? I mean, then she'd ask me some questions that you really, really couldn't answer. Like, why don't you have cellulite? How do you answer that question? They say the menopause is the invisible syndrome. Not in our fucking house, I can tell you. One thing that we're doing more of now is Zoom meetings, which is brilliant. Let's be honest, it's fantastic, isn't it? You know, if you do a Zoom meeting with a load of different people from work, and you can see into the house, you can spy into the house, see what's on the shelves, and then bitch to somebody else afterwards about it. But I think you do need to learn the basics when you're doing this. Things like mute, video off. We had a conference with the speaker, and the speaker made sure that everyone was on mute. And there were about, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 of us on this telecom, on this thing, and he was talking to us. And I think on my screen, I think I could see about 10 people. And I noticed that one of the girls got up, and I thought, oh, yeah, she's probably got to make a cup of tea or something. But no. She actually picked up her laptop, her iPad, and actually started walking into the toilet. And it wasn't just me who could see this. I could see other people seeing it and the look of horror on their faces. And you could see them picking up the phone and trying to text or ring her. But she just literally went and she sat on the toilet. She did realise that when she got back and she looked at, and you could see her, she looked at her phone, and then she could find the video off. But I made a pact, to be honest. I made a pact when I was when in the start of lockdown. I said I was going to get fit. I was going to stay fit. You know, Boris said we were allowed out at the beginning 1 hour a day. I was determined I was going to go out one day every day, do an hour exercise. And it worked for the first few days, but by day 60, I'm not actually eating cold spaghetti hoops in the bath out of the tin. And my wife's trying to get me out more. You know, she apparently read this article about, you know, if you go for a walk, it helps your sex life. So she's telling me this, and she said, look, if you go for a 20-minute walk, she tells me, it will improve your sex life. And I just said to her, but I don't know anybody 20 minutes away. I know. Marriage, eh? I know. Someone said to me, what, because I've been married, it will be, I think, 33 years this year. What is the answer? What's it a success? What do you count as a success for a long and happy marriage? I mean, I can tell you what a long marriage is like. But I've just been relearning what we call the wife code. Do any of you know? I don't know whether you know about the wife code. It's it was given to me, to be honest. My grandfather came up to me on the morning of my wedding. He was in my house. We were having a whiskey, and he took me to one side and he said, "Henrik, I want to give you some advice." He said, "I wish someone had told me this when I got married to your grandmother. But when you get married, do you want to be happy or right? Because you can't be both." I thought about it, and you know what? He's right. I'm happy. I'm happy. You know, I'm very, very happy. In fact, I sometimes ask my wife, am I happy? She goes, damn right you're happy. I know we were, last year we were on holiday in Lanzarote. God, how I miss those days. Away in Spain and Lanzarote. And my wife we met a family, very, very, very nice family. And she was talking to the wife, and she was talking about me and the kids. And she was describing me, but she says, my son is into extreme sports, my daughter's into extreme makeovers, and my husband is into extreme denial. Who here has a dishwasher? If you have a dishwasher, you'll have someone probably in your house who is bloody anal about the dishwasher. You know, how the plates go in, where the knives and forks go in, how the plates do different orders. I mean, does anyone have that? I know it's very hard to tell on when you're online, but I've spoken to a few people about this, and there are one or two people who've got dishwashers and they do have an anal person in the house. That anal person in this house is me. My son came home for lockdown to stay with us. Him and my wife, they have a saying about the dishwasher. Don't give a fuck. Daddy will do it. And it's true. You know, getting to 60, you know, I'm thinking about the benefits of being 60. Things like if I'm a hostage, I'll be the first to be released. I think at 60, you'll start to be not diagnosed as being a hypochondriac because you've got 60. One of the beauties about being 60 also is that if you buy new clothes, they probably won't ever wear out. I mean, there are things you have to be aware and careful of when you're 60. Things like don't take your sleeping tablet and your laxative tablet the same night. Yeah, that's definitely a no-no. Well, I know you're getting old. When my wife said to me, come on, let's run upstairs and make love. I went, it's one or the other. It can't be both. And I think as you get older, sayings are a bit more different. You know, like getting action. That means that the laxatives are working, kicking in. Do you know the expression, gonna get lucky? To me, that is making sure I found the car in the car park first time. And remember the expression, having an all-nighter? Yeah. What that means today is that I don't get up in the middle of the night for a piss. I mean, one of the other signs as you're getting old is that your parents and your children, I mean, they're calling me the responsible adult. That can only lead to trouble. But I know I'm turning into my Jewish grandmother. Because the signs are all there already, which is really, really, wow, unbelievable. You know, I will say things to people, oh, it's fine, don't worry. And they don't. They don't worry about me. And when I go out at night, in the days when we could go out at night, I take a sweater with me. And my attitude is so different. You know, I used to look at girls, and especially in Liverpool, when they're walking around with hardly anything on, you used to look at them. And now all I think is, oh my God, they're going to get pneumonia. I take an umbrella with me. Because I remember my grandma used to say to me, you never know when it's going to rain. No, we didn't get any with the ark. Remember that. I do think now, you know, when you get older, that minor injuries could be fatal. I do have selective hearing issues, some on purpose, I must admit. And my mother-in-law, God bless her, she taught me something which is very, very valuable, is that wherever you go, always have snacks on you. It's very important you've got something on your snacks. Because it's a well-known Jewish fact that if you don't eat for 2 hours, your blood pressure drops. and 4 hours you'll go dizzy. 5 and you pass out. It's a well-known medical fact for Jewish people. And also in lockdown, a long time ago, texting's different now, isn't it? Let's be honest, texting. I used to, everyone knows what LOL is. Before lockdown, it was living on laxatives. Now, it's living on lockdown. I'm going to change it to LIL, living in lockdown. And most people know what FML is. It's quite popular, FML. I used to say that was foot my liver, but now it's foot my lockdown. And I have my own, to be honest. I used to text ADS at doctor's surgery. That's not going to happen anymore. Because you can't see a doctor, let's be honest. You're not allowed, you can't go to the surgery. And makes it even harder now to try and get to speak to a doctor is the receptionist wants to know everything. I literally wants to know everything. And you go, she's not medically trained. She hasn't got a clue. All she's going to do is say exactly the same thing. So can't I just tell the doctor? No, you have to tell me. I have to assess it and I have to tell the doctor and then they will ring you back. And I said, well, I've got a rash. And she said, okay, sir, could you please send me a photograph? I must admit, I did think that it would be the first time if I sent a dick pic, I wouldn't get into trouble. How wrong I am. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Churniavsky. Enjoy your day.